Imagine, if you will, structures built by an ancient empire submerged for 2,000 years in the churning, corrosive power of the open sea. And here's the incredible part. With every wave, with every passing year, they don't crumble. They actually grow stronger.
For centuries, these Roman marine works have been an engineering marvel. They just stand there, in stark contrast to our modern concrete piers and seawalls, which, let's be honest, start to decay almost the moment they're built, fighting a losing battle against salt and water.
The answer to that question, well, it uncovers a kind of secret history. It's a story about knowledge that was lost, an ingredient that was forgotten, and a modern world that's been built on an invisible and dangerously finite foundation.
Welcome to Inside History HD. Together, we will peel back the layers of narratives long locked away in the archives of history.
So here's the paradox, and it's a profound one. An ancient civilization, working without any of our advanced chemistry or heavy machinery, somehow created a building material that's far superior to anything we can produce today for these marine environments. How on earth did they do it?
Well, the secret wasn't some complicated, lost technique. No, it was simpler than that. It was a specific ingredient. You see, the Romans understood something really fundamental that we somehow forgot. Sand isn't just a filler. It can be an active chemical catalyst.
They used something called pozzolana. It's a special volcanic ash, and when they mixed it with lime and seawater, it kicked off this incredible chemical transformation. It literally turned the sand from just stuff in the mix into an active binding agent.
And that difference is everything. Modern cement is inert. It's designed to fight its environment, and that's a battle it always, eventually loses. Roman concrete was totally different. It was designed to work with its environment. The seawater, the very thing that destroys our structures, was the secret ingredient to its immortality. It fueled a chemical reaction that grew new minerals inside any cracks, essentially letting the structure heal itself. And this isn't just some theory. As research detailed in the significance of ancient Roman concrete confirms, this process meant the structures were actively getting tougher over millennia. They weren't just enduring, they were evolving. When the Roman Empire fell, that knowledge, that recipe, just vanished. It was the flutter of a butterfly's wings, a seemingly small detail lost in the chaos. But that small event would set a storm in motion, a storm that is breaking on our own shores today. Because in forgetting how to use the right kind of sand, we became totally dependent on a very different and much more limited kind.
And this leads us to the great irony of our time. We are surrounded by deserts, right? Endless oceans of sand. And yet, we're facing a critical shortage of it. How is that possible? Well, it turns out not all sand is created equal.
It all comes down to shape. On the left, you see sand from rivers. Its grains are angular and jagged. On the right, that's desert sand. It's fine, smooth, and rounded. And that tiny little detail, it changes everything.
As an analysis from The Secret History of Sand explains, sand that's been eroded by water has these sharp, angular edges that lock together, kind of like puzzle pieces, to create strong, stable concrete. But desert sand, eroded by wind, is too smooth. Trying to build with it is like trying to build a wall with marbles instead of bricks. It just doesn't work. So the world's vast deserts are, for construction, almost completely useless.
And this is the connection. Our reliance on only one type of sand has created a massive, cascading global crisis. Forgetting that Roman recipe forced our entire civilization to depend on river and sea sand, a finite resource that's now at the center of geopolitical conflict, environmental collapse, and even organized crime.
The amount of sand we use is just staggering. It's almost impossible to picture. But the United Nations Environment Program put it this way. Every single year, we use enough sand to build a wall 27 meters high and 27 meters wide all the way around the equator. Every year.
This incredible demand has turned sand into a tool of geopolitics. Nations like Singapore, desperate for more land, are literally terraforming, creating new territory out of the sea by importing colossal amounts of sand.
But that growth comes at a staggering price. A UN report, which was highlighted in the journal Sand, a resource that's washing away, revealed that this expansion has been responsible for the complete disappearance of at least 24 Indonesian islands. Think about that. One nation's growth is literally built on the erasure of another's territory.
And you know what happens when there's scarcity and high demand, right? A shadow economy thrives. In countries from India to Morocco,
powerful criminal organizations known as sand mafias have seized control of a multi-billion-dollar black market for illegal sand.
And make no mistake, this is a war fought with real weapons. As documented in sources like Why Criminal Gangs Are Killing for Sand, hundreds of people who have dared to stand in the way, journalists, police officers, environmental activists, have been murdered. This is the very real, lethal human cost of our world's addiction to concrete.
Now, this crisis might seem like it's happening in some distant place, on foreign coastlines and riverbeds, but the truth is, its foundation is right there with you, right now.
Just look around you. The concrete in the foundation beneath your feet, the glass in your windows, the asphalt on the road outside, even the tiny silicon chip in the device you're using to watch this, and the solar panels we hope will power a green future. All of it comes from sand. Our entire modern world is built on this one, single, contested resource.
And that's the point. The loss of Roman knowledge isn't just some interesting fact from a history book. It is a direct cause of the crisis we are facing now. That one little flutter of a butterfly's wings, that forgotten recipe, created the very storm we are all living in today.
The structures the Romans built have lasted 2,000 years. The foundation of our own civilization, well, it's proving to be far more fragile. And that forces us to ask a really difficult question. Our civilization is built on sand. What happens when the foundation runs out?
If this journey has offered you a new perspective, support our exploration by subscribing to Insight History HD. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next narrative.